Welcome to E-Pathashala. We are now going to talk totally a different landscape, which is a road landscape in Visakhapatnam. What are the basic principles of road landscaping? Okay, people say, in the period of Ashoka planted trees all along the road. Ashoka dug up wells all along the road. He provided lot of shelter for the people to eat. But the one thing we all have to understand, when you provided a trees all along the road, you have a shaded walkway. When he dig up wells, tanks and other things, it's a rain harvesting tanks. So our forefathers have clear thinking process about how to go about all this conservation of natural elements, which is more important. Here in this particular area, particular highway, what we are talking, we have used a different concept of planting, different color scheme of planting, and then we also wanted to have a break the monotony of straight line planting, so that we have taken a snake as a concept, meandering concept, so that when you are driving in a very high speed on a national highway, you don't feel monotonous of just following the straight line of a hedge planting. Plus, these planting also help to cut the headlight glare of the opposite person. That is also important. And another aspect is you have to plant the trees in such a way that the canopy height is quite taller, and it will also take care of 5.5 meters of height, so that any vehicle going underneath it will go safely without any problem. These are some of the basic principles needed to be followed in the road landscaping. Apart from that, why do we plant trees on the roads? Road trees are planted, one is to provide shade, to provide a barrier from the glare, and to act as a windbreaker, to hold the soil erosion, and to have the stability on the road. These are the basic principles of road landscaping. If your road is going in east-west direction, a good avenue will always will not give you a glare of sunlight while you are driving in the morning and the evening period. Whereas when you are driving south to north or north to south, you will have a lot of wind blowing, and there are ways of vehicle topping because of the wind. So you need to create a lot of shelter belts or wind breakers along the road, so that wind will not disturb the traffic flow. The third and foremost in this all these elements is you have to provide a huge water harvesting wells all along the national highway. Instead of talking planting plan, I am talking about some other topic you must be thinking. But planting plan, choice of plant material has been shown in the plan very clearly, what kind of plant need to be used and what kind of trees needs to be used, how to train them, how to go about everything is given there. Whereas in terms of your awareness towards the natural conservation, natural protection of trees, these are all very important for you. You can go through the design and enjoy. Today, now we are going to talk about road landscaping. This is actually a road landscaping of almost 61 kilometers we are doing in Visakhapatnam for a national highway number 16. Their two names are there. Names will not matter much to all of you because it will Talpasolova to Anakapalli urban stretch. This is an urban stretch. In between there is an urban stretch. In between you have different stretches are available. So your entire road landscaping has to be done in accordance with the site development, site situation, and traffic flow, and all those things considering, we have to do a real good landscaping. Of course, this landscaping was done by me itself at least 15 years back. Now we had this huge cyclone in Visakhapatnam that's called some name was there. Hudhud, yeah, Hudhud was the name of the cyclone, and it has uprooted almost 75% of the tree cover in Visakhapatnam. So we have to redo the planting in the whole area. While we redoing the whole thing, we can have something of a different character and different thinking process. Basically, this landscaping is going to happen on the central median, where we have 4 to 5, 6 meters of width available on the central median. So you have to do planting on some theme basis, on some
methodology basis or some growth pattern, whatever is required. But basically, what is required in this most of the places is we have to stop the headlight glare of the opposite vehicle. Your planting has to grow minimum of height of at least 1 meter height, because it has to take care of your lower vehicle, which is a car or anything like that, the higher vehicle like a lorry, buses. So your lighting, should not be a hindrance to the opposite vehicle. So that is the primary number one. Number two is, yeah, the main objective of landscaping, road landscaping on a national highway is, number one is cutting glare on the opposite side, number one. Number two, the trespassing or easy crossing over a public, which will create an accident for the people, need to be curtailed. Number three, this also need to be a show class, and the good landscaping will always guide you through the road. So it need not be monotonous. Maybe at 5 kilometer stretch you can change the color, you can change the planting plan, or you can do it at 10 kilometers. Normally 10 kilometer distance with today's speed and I think you will be able to do it at something around 7 minutes or something like that. Every 7 minutes you can change the color. So these are all some of the important factors which will be taken into consideration while doing the landscaping. Apart from that, very important factor which need to be taken care is your orientation of the road. Why orientation? You have sunlight, morning sunlight and evening sunlight. If your road is going on north-south direction, not much problem. If it is going to be east-west direction, you need to have an avenue tree so that sun glare on your eyes is being cut. Otherwise, your driving will become very difficult in the morning and evening hours if you are traveling on the east or on the western side. So these are the primary importance of road landscaping. Plus your shoulder. When we are talking about road landscaping, another more important is your shoulder landscaping, soil erosion on the edge of the road, and windbreaker when it's a large open space or anything like that, huge wind will be forcing across the road. Then the shoulder, then we are talking about huge wind crossing the highway. These wind will always be a accident creator, or it can topple your vehicle. So you need windbreakers all along the road. Then your landscape characters on the road. What is very important when you are driving with a high speed on a national highway? You need to have some kind of sequence. So in order to drive peacefully, number one, in order to drive at a high speed, in order to, we are talking about toppling of the tree because of the high wind. We have to create a shelter belts, windbreaker, all these things. Plus, when you are traveling with such a high speed, we need to uh, have a sequence in the landscaping. So, your open and closeness, your continuous closeness, your viewpoints, focal point of some of the historical thing on the road, plus your junctions, wherever junction comes, the landscape character has to change so that the person driving will understand there is a junction coming and he will be reducing the speed of the vehicle. All those elements, you have to literally control the speed of the vehicle in terms of landscaping. That is very, very important when you are doing a road landscaping. Plus, you have to have a pedestrian crossing all along the road. Nowadays, we are not using much of the lighting and we have lot of reflectors are available. Have an efficient reflector so which will guide the road to you. Electrical lighting will create lot of expenditure, so that can be avoided on a national highway. It's not there much, but headlights are there for most of the vehicle and we have a very good reflectors on the roadsides. So that will take care of the illumination part of the road. But the planting is very important. One, soil erosion, windbreaker, aesthetics, visual linkage of spaces, different zones, then your avenue orientation factor. These are the primary importance of landscaping on the national highway. So now let us go to the project. This is happening in Visakhapatnam. Now this is going to be one of the major port after the formation of Andhra Pradesh. This NH16, which is crossing the Visakhapatnam city and going up to Calcutta, but the distance is roughly around 56 kilometers we need to do the landscaping. Then this will be decorating the medians and roadside will be a biggest city beautification will happen once this is happening in the city. And this is a plan showing you Tagara Pubalasa versus Anakapalli. This is 51 kilometers. In reality, I think it's around 70 kilometers. Basically, we are trying to work on a rainbow concept where you have whip gear, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. So you have to read reverse violet, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange, and red. So that's where you get that whip gear. Plants representing colors of the respective repetitive usage of this whip gear, creating color plant along the roadway. Low maintenance varieties need to be used following a snake pattern. So the meanderingness will be there continuously as you see in the photograph. These are all some of my evolution of the design. Again, we are talking about the urban area which comes in the red areas are urban area, blue are urban fringes and rural area, then urban area and industrial zone. So these are the different zones are provided so that your landscaping will be a different character in all these areas. So urban area, what are the places? We are talking about Anakapalli, Gajuvaka, Madhurabada and Tagasapuralova. See these four places we are talking about urban, and then urban and industrial area is Madhavandara is industrial area. So how are we going to do the landscaping and how are we going to create a different character in these zones? That's more important. You can see the existing photograph. Have it's a chaos. You can see traffic islands. You can see different vehicles, different modes of transportation. No orientation, no guidance factor. Nothing is there. But we have to create a discipline in this road traffic. So that discipline is what we are going to achieve through landscaping. So organized planting, you have a cycle track, you have trees, you have shops and other sites. So you have a railing in the middle so that people will not cross over any point, creating an accident for the trees. You have avenue trees all along the road with a footpath. And the cross section also gives you the ample idea of tall lighting on the central median, and then you have low level lighting for the pedestrian on the footpath. It's a basic idea, and you have some bollards and things like that for the pedestrian purpose. Planting guidelines we want following here is colorful foliage, provide a shade plant that do not attract cattle and low maintenance varieties are recommended. Integrate with the surrounding urban environment. The type of plant used also give rise to the character of the road. And plants need to be visually appealing, flowering patterns and then foliage character, the shape of the tree, match with the urban context. Feature planting, gateways, bollards, avenue may be appropriate. Continuous planting may be appropriate to provide a visual separating and screening. So these are some of the plants which we are trying to use. We have Thebubia rosea. When it blooms, you can see the beautiful mauve color flowers. Spathodia campanulata, which will also grow in a coastal area and gives you orange color flower. Peltophorum ferruginum is there, which is again yellow color flowering tree, and it's also takes care of lot of vehicular fumes will be absorbed by this particular tree. So this also act as an anti-pollution tree in real terms. Then we have Alistonia scholaris, nice dense foliage tree. Cassia spectabilis, again a good flowering tree. Telemix regia can be used sparingly in order to provide some color through the landscaping. Palms, again very different varieties of plants at focal point or avenue trees. Again some more varieties of palms. Nowadays palms are catching up very high level, and these palms are, even though they grow much slower and give character only at a very later date, but these palms attract visually. And shrubs, we have Song of India, Lantana, Nerium oleander, chlorophyta. Most of the plants, we have some 80, 85 odd varieties are available. So we have to repeat them in a colorful pattern so that the character is evolved in the road landscaping. This is what we are looking at an image. You have parking, you have avenue trees, continuous avenue trees, and central median with the hedge planting and lighting on the central area, and again avenue trees on the other side. So your road is continuous without much problem. This road actually run north south, so you don't really have to bother much about your orientation factor. Again another view of the road with the footpath and planting on both the sides. Again colorful planting, you have color being introduced in between so that the road will look colorful when then traveling on the road. Urban area concept, we are talking about industrial area. Deciduous trees are generally preferred in industrial zone, mainly because these will shed the pollution it has absorbed over a course of time, provide noise mitigation and wide landscape buffer to mitigate the impacts. So normally tree planting will reduce the noise onto the industrial area and vice versa. Trees shed during summer and the leaves new grows to take care of the pollution. Tree that creates an afforestation effect, you need to have a lot of buffer planting. Trees that produces oxygen and surface the harmful gases emitting from the industries as well as from the vehicular pollution. Dust absorption from the surrounding. You have industries, you have a road. Our climate is basically a lot of dust is created. So the trees will absorb a lot of dust. Visual and noise buffer. That is also another important feature in the landscaping. So Mimosophis elongate, very dense foliage. Terminalia Kadapa, good coastal plant. Ficus religiosa, very good trees. Fig tree. Cagelia pinnata, again a very good tree all along the road, very hardy plant. Urban fringe and rural area, what kind of planting need to be done? Usage of native species, then exotic tree in this area along the urban fringes or rural area. Maintain the visual character of the open agricultural landscape in the rural area. You need to open up some areas so that you have the visual linkage with the surrounding when you are driving. Low maintenance and low water use in the planting, and the provision of sufficient shade for the pedestrians. Native plants should be sourced from the same regions to preserve the local genetic variation and best suited to the local condition. Planting need to be made more of an informal planting rather than rigid planting here. So you can plant clusters here, clusters there, some straight lines, so you can have a different character altogether in these rural areas. So these are all the rural trees we are talking about. Thespecia is again Indian tulip tree, neem tree, cannonball tree, Pongamia glabra. These are all village trees basically. So these plants are also local plants. We try to use Ticoma gaudichaudi, Clerodendron inermi, Vedalia, Nerium oleander, Cisalpania, Bougainvilleas. All these plants are local varieties which will grow very well and give a very good character, very good road landscaping.
Conclusion for Vishakhapatnam National Highway. The conclusion, is basically tree planting, hedge planting, both the side shoulder planting, both the side usage spaces, everything is there. When you go to Singapore or any other place, what is being done there and what is being done here, both are different. Here we will plant a tree and forget about it. There, they plant a tree, allow it to train it, allow it to trim it, structural stability is created. We had a hood-like cyclone in Vizag, but most of the trees have been uprooted. There is no tree there now. So we have to plant the tree. This project has come to us mainly because of the cyclone. So your trees and everything need to be planted in such a way that they are structurally stable and so that it won't cause any damage to anybody, which we have to learn from other countries to create a structural stability on the tree. Planting plan what I have given you will give you all the inputs regarding what kind of trees to be planted, how to plant it, what is the spacing required. But this structural stability and then proper spacing of trees, I can only talk to you right now. Okay, enjoy planting. Thank you.